Not at all.
Okay. I've restarted my VOD just in case you are worried about having any content or having anything there. Cool. Hello.
Okay. Hello. How's it going, man?
Who are you?
Who are me? I'm Average Luck Gamer. I make content on the internet. I make cool videos about Zenless Zone Zero, mostly focused on value, I guess, and thoughts.
Okay.
Thoughts and value.
So this is going to be an interesting conversation. I get the value question incessantly, and I don't know if you're aware of my answer to it.
What is your answer to it?
I don't believe in value. I don't believe. How do I spell?
Well, that is kind of interesting.
So
Why don't you
value
believe in
is
value,
a
Jason?
subjective. Value is something that is purely subjective. What could be considered valuable for one player is not the same on every account.
Okay.
So people ask, how worth is this character's M1? How worth is this character's S rank engine? What is the value?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that drives me up that's the thing that drives me up a wall. And because I would rather tell people, yeah, the difference between Miyabi's S rank engine and the free-to-play engine is 40%. That is an objective statement. Whether or not that is worth it is entirely up to the person receiving the information.
That makes perfect sense to me, buddy.
That's why that is my frequent answer to the value question. And it drives me up a wall because I can't say it enough times.
No, I get it. I understand. But I will regularly refer to things as value.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So give me an example.
So I'll say I'm struggling to come up with it in my brain right now. But okay, I'm actually gonna just have to check the tape. I'm gonna have to go to my own YouTube channel and be like, okay, let me look at my titles right now, because that's. Oh yeah, so I'll be like, why I'm not doing this, but why you might want to.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be like, oh, okay, so this is why I'm not doing that, but then this is why you might want to. This is why you might hold value for this particular character, Paul, because, she's going to work well with this other character or stuff like that.
Okay,
that's the way that I
Yeah.
kind of frame it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, usually, okay, so I guess similar framing.
Similar framing, but
Yeah.
different outlooks on value. Like I'm quite happy to talk about value,
Right.
but I guess the way that you talk about it is like, well, it's up to you. Whereas I'll be like, well, do you want that? Do you want that 40% additional damage? Does that seem valuable? Then that's value.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair perspective. So I get what's the next question? Like people would ask, how worth is Qingyi for Jian? When it's an example that's extremely apparent, I will normally say I strongly recommend pulling Qingyi for Jian.
Yeah.
That's my normal response to that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's because you don't want to use the word value. Whereas I guess I would probably just be like, yeah, that's valuable. That seems like a valuable pull.
Yeah, I try
right
to
now Qingyi is the optimal stun pick for Juyuan.
Yeah. Have you tried Astra Nicole Jian?
I have not. Actually, I have not. And I should probably try that.
You should try it on specifically Deadly Assault.
Oh, okay.
That's where it's specifically good. You could, I guess, technically do it on any of the 3 bosses. But it's very good for the middle one. It was actually
that's the Ether Week one, yeah.
Yeah. Besides, like, a Miyabi team, that was the team that scored the best for me on that boss.
That is interesting. So, do you just not worry about Juyuan dealing damage in stun window?
Yeah, you just throw down Nicole's EX and do a B3 on GN. And then you loop that. Use GN's EX sometimes, and then you just keep uptime on Nicole's buff and attack.
That's interesting. I might actually try that.
It's also
After
a time
the
where
show.
chaotic metal is actually good.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but chaotic metal has somewhat fallen out of favor in Shingi teams or Hormone Punk.
Okay.
Okay, this is clearly new information to you. Okay.
This is clearly new information to me because I spent so fucking long farming chaotic metal.
Okay.
And I'm not doing it again.
Okay,
I'm not
so
going
yeah,
back to the mines.
definitely try the Astra team. Good.
Okay, man. I will try it. But does it work with Hormone Punk? Can I work? Chaotic Metal's fine, right? Chaotic Metal's great.
But you should not play Nicole Astro with Hormone Punk. That would be more questionable.
Oh,
that is the chaotic metal team.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, man. Good to know.
So the reason I asked you to send me your UID, are you aware of all of the external support applications that have been popping up around the game right now?
What do you mean the external?
Oh, I want to show you this.
Okay.
Okay, check this out. This is Enka.
Is it on Discord?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen on Discord.
Oh, okay.
So check this out. This is my account.
Oh, okay, cool.
And this is you. Check it out. These are your builds. You can pull
That
up.
is me.
Yeah. Currently this is in a beta state, but within the next week or two, it'll be rolled out for everyone. So you'll be able to pull up anyone's builds from their UID as long as the characters are on their showcase.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So that means that for account reviews and stuff,
Yep.
as content creators, we don't have to what's the word?
You don't have to do a UID search, log in. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's very cool. That's very cool. Hey, do you want to look at my characters then? Is that what we're doing right now?
Sure. Let's take a look. GN, you have 3 attack percent subs, 5 crit rate subs, and 19 crit damage subs. 19 crit damage subs. That's impressive.
Yeah, boy.
50% crit rate. So, assuming your Nicole is M6, you're going to have 95 crit rate.
Yeah, boy.
Very nice. You have either slot 5. Since you're on Brimstone, that's technically fine. If you were on the Riot Suppressor, I would tell you should be using attack percent on slot 5.
Oh, okay. Wow.
27 subs. Yeah, that is 27 subs. Keep in mind, attack and crit damage are actually equal value on GN. Speaking of value, the net gain from using both stats.
Hey, you said it.
Yeah. The gain from using attack percent is actually technically higher when you have this little attack. Well, you do have 3,000 attacks. So.
I was going to say,
this is prime.
Nice. The brimstone. The brimstone is helping.
Yeah, it is helping. So, I've kind of introduced myself. Hello, I am JStern25. I do really theory crafting centered and hardcore gameplay centered content for Zenless Zone Zero. I do general guides for every character as they release. You were saying?
I was going to interrupt you and say I should have introduced you, and I'm a terrible person. But thank you very much for introducing yourself.
Yes. Hello. Nice to meet everyone.
Yeah. Hello. Channel link. Oh, yeah. Someone in my chat just asked for your channel link. I will get it and send it.
YouTube.com/the_JStern25 is I think my YouTube URL. Or twitch.tv/JStern25.
I'm going to get it and I'm going to put it in both of my chats because I don't know if you know this, JStern, but I always watch your videos, man.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to hear.
I know, I've watched your videos since before I made content. I used to watch your videos back in, Genshin days. So I've been hanging out with you, not hanging out with you, but I've been watching your stuff for a really long time. So it's really nice to get to hang out and chat.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited.
I know I spoke with your friend Kete the 7th on your co-hosted podcast. The single time you weren't there.
Yeah, the single time that I wasn't able to make it, we are like ships in the night. We crossed and did not.
Oh my god.
Very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I subbed to both you, so this stream is a treat. Oh, my chat's been really nice about you.
Oh.
That's nice.
I've
I've been parasocial with you for a very long time. That's what they're saying that I'm saying.
Ain't no, okay, about parasocial. I primarily do live streams.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very parasocial medium. You are literally sitting there and spending like 5 to 8 hours with a person. And the conversations are happening in chat. It's not that parasocial. I don't know if that's weird for me to say.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I feel like I'm. It's not that I'm talking to the same people, but you see the same names pop up, and then you'll be like, "Oh, your account's kind of interesting. Your account's kind of cool," and like you get to know them and their accounts, I guess. So yeah it's yeah.
Oh. Well, I'd ask what kind of content you do then for your live streams. Do you log into accounts? Do you do account reviews?
Yeah, I have done account reviews. We're doing an account review after this one.
Oh.
So after we do this for a bit, I'm logging into a community member's account, and we're gonna check it out. He apparently has very similar characters to mine, but he's struggling to clear Deadly Assault. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see maybe if his characters aren't as well built, or maybe skill issue. We'll find out.
So, okay, then I'm glad I show you. Here, let me send you the link for this. Currently, it is Patreon supporter only for about the next week, and then it will be rolled out for everyone. But if you do just want to have the feature, you can throw them $2 or $5 on Patreon.
Oh, well, maybe I'll do that. That seems quite nice anyway. Okay, yeah, but like my Yanagi is she's a work in progress. Okay.
Is she though? Oh wait, 6 AP subs. You have 10 attack subs though. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, attack is good. Attack is good. But yeah, she's a work in progress.
Okay.
The G1 is my crown jewel.
I was gonna ask if you farmed 10%.
No.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah, I feel like you're a pen supporter, and that's fine.
Yeah, I am like.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about pen, Jason. You could. Okay, tell me about pen.
Oh, you want me to tell you about? I can tell you. Oh, I can. Thank you for asking. Let me tell you a little bit about pen. Pen percent is a stat that gets better the more of it you have. And pen percent is also a stat that is good because it is an alternative stat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to try to explain something kind of complicated.
Okay, bud. I'm down.
The way this is MS Paint, by the way. The way damage optimization works is the relative gain from each stat changes dynamically the more of each stat you have. So if we draw a cube and a rectangle, I can make a point about the volume of the cube.
Okay.
So the optimal volume of a cube is a square or 6 squares. It's not being super slanted in one direction. Right. Even though the surface area, even though the surface area can be the same.
Okay.
If I was better at drawing, this would be a perfect cube. But the volume of this cube is better. So the dimensions of a cube are length, width, and height. So we can assume one of them is attack. So we can have attack, crit, and damage bonus.
So we're assuming like all of the sides of the cube are, if they're equal, so if everything kind of goes up equally, then we end up with a bigger volume.
Utilized, yeah. And
Okay.
the volume is the representation of damage. So building one stat excessively means that the relative gain from having other stats is higher. So ideally it's a balance. The thing about pen is it isn't damage, crit, or attack. It is a additional stat. So when you have large amounts of damage and crit and attack, it becomes better to have this alternative stat being pen, even though pen percent is initially worse because of the relationship between the stats. The stat that you haven't built anything of, which was initially a lower gain, becomes the biggest gain possible.
Right, because you have good like crit and attack and etc.
Yeah.
Then therefore pen becomes more valuable.
So
Okay.
it's a bit of a super min-maxy thing, because pen is best when you have like basically perfect subs, which I am not at that point. I would like to be there, which is why I fire so much pen percent.
Okay, so for slot 5 for most players though, should they be farming pen?
If you're an anomaly character, debatably yes. It's pretty similar to 2-piece AP.
Interesting. Yeah.
The thing about pen slot 5s is they are initially worse than attack and damage bonus. But okay, let's actually look at Miyabi. When you play Miyabi with Astra and you have Astra's engine, that is 1,200 attack and 64 damage bonus. That is enough to skew build recommendations for Miyabi to favor a pen slot 5.
Okay. So what you're saying is I should be getting a pen slot 5 for my Miyabi.
You can, yes. That's what I run.
Okay.
Here, I will.
Okay. So
this is my Miyabi build. I'm running a pen slot 5.
You're running a pen slot 5.
Yes.
And your attack is higher than mine. Your crit rate is slightly lower, but with buffs you're over 80.
Oh, this is 100%.
And yeah,
I have M2.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. And then your crit damage is way higher. So I guess the question mark for me though is then like, if you go back to my Miyabi, is it worth me farming pen for Miyabi, or is it still not worth because my other stats aren't?
You need the crit rate from 2-piece woodpecker. But pen slot 5 is always going to be good on Miyabi, yes, if it has good stats. It would need to have similar or better stats than what you currently have. Your current piece is 3 attack subs and a crit damage sub, and a flat pen. So you would need something that is directly similar.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a pretty good piece, to be honest. Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's competitive. It's not the biggest. Okay. The most extreme example we've ever had in favor of pen is going to be like. Can we talk about Evelyn?
You can talk about Evelyn.
Okay. The difference between damage bonus and pen percent on Evelyn with Astra Lighter is about 4%. That is the biggest the difference has ever been. Everything else is less than that. For me, I think it's like 1% or 2%.
Oh, okay. So we're definitely like in the optimizing space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the second thing. We have a Zenless optimizer.
Oh, I feel like I was on your stream the other day and I saw you messing around with this, and I was like, I have no idea what this is, and it seems complicated.
It's very complicated. It's in early beta. I was able to convince the wonderful developer for Genshin Optimizer, Fred. He also streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/FRYZC.
Okay.
But yeah, I convinced him to start work on a Zenless optimizer. So we do have a bare bones optimizer. These are the settings that I have for my Miyabi right now.
Oh yeah, so that means you can plug in the stats that you currently have, right? And then it's going to tell you what would be like an optimal slot 5.
Yes, it'll tell you what your optimal drives are.
Okay.
This is like super min-maxy stuff. I'm sure you didn't expect to hear about this.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like we kind of chatted a little bit before this, and we were like, oh yeah, we'll have these like general topic ideas, and then we've just launched into like
you see, I actually wanted
deepest of deep shit.
I actually wanted to talk about and raise awareness for these wonderful programs that are being developed, because I'm doing my part to make sure people use them.
Yeah,
that's my secret motivation here.
Let me ask a question. The Zenless Optimizer, is there like a Patreon for that? Or is it free to use?
It is free to use.
Okay.
You can support by, first of all, using it, but if anyone from your audience has programming knowledge, they are actively looking for volunteers to help improve it.
Okay.
Cool. So the more people that get involved, the better and more in depth it can be. Enka does run a Patreon. I don't know if Optimizer does. But
Yeah,
either way, yeah.
I guess yeah, because you said like let's raise awareness, and I was like, okay,
Yep.
let's also talk about supporting it then. Yeah, okay. So Zenless Optimizer, just use it.
Yeah.
It does seem very cool. It does seem very cool. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So yes, okay, I got what I wanted to do out of the way. So who's your current favorite character or favorite agent?
That is a good question, and that's what I was going to ask you. We were actually just talking about that on stream, as I was talking about who's the most fun to play. Like putting aside the meta stuff. And here's the question then: for Jay Stern, the meta guy, the stats guy, the 40% difference in calc guy, who is your most? Who do you enjoy playing the most? Like, put aside all of the other stuff. Who do you actually enjoy playing?
Honestly, it is Miyabi right now. Miyabi is my current favorite character to play because she's she's less focused on micro mechanics the same way someone like Harumasa, or not the same way, the way someone like a Harumasa is. Have you tried looking into optimal Harumasa gameplay with manual chain?
I have not tried optimal Haramasa gameplay. No.
Okay.
Not with manual chain. No. I have tried a bit of Haramasa gameplay, and I did try my hand at making a guide for Haramasa, because I was in the 1.4 beta, same as you with the Miyabi stuff. So we also got access to Haramasa, and I did not enjoy trying to make that guide.
Haramasa is a character who's super focused on the micro optimizations, where it's all about this one, or his resources and his combo stuff and how you can execute that. And it's kind of easy to screw up, which is the most frustrating thing about him. I like Miyabi because she's less focused on that, and she's interacting with a lot of different systems, like Anomaly, but specifically like Anomaly and Stun, but it's mostly the Anomaly build-up and her energy situation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Understanding how you can get Miyabi's resources and how you can spend them, and when you should be spending them in the case of stun time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That is what I really like about Miyabi. I think that's really fun to min-max and like experiment with. If you play with a Lucy lighter team, how good is doing a full team chain attack for Rocket Boo for the extra fire app and get you an extra disorder? The answer is sometimes it can, and it can be pretty funny.
Plus Rocket Boo, because he's just the cutest.
Yeah, so that's what I like about Miyabi, and that's why I find her really fun. She's kind of like a big payoff for a lot of game knowledge.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool, man. I'm glad.
Who is your favorite character to play right now?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I think it's Yanagi.
It's Yanagi. Ooh.
Yeah. Because I just really like the way that
Which team?
Sorry?
Which team?
Well, I kind of feel bad, right? Because she's been relegated to Miyabi support, but I really enjoyed when I was playing like a disorder team with her and Bernice, and then a support, so like Lucy or Seth. Because I really enjoy like the stance switching and the ability to parry. So yeah, I think Yanagi main DPS was probably my favorite time. But now that Miyabi is here, I feel like she's been relegated to this Frost Stacks creation agent, and I feel like I need to get her out of that.
Okay.
You know? I need to free her from the shackles
to be freed
of Miyabi.
You can play like on Sokaku with Miyabi.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and run like.
I think the last Deadly Assault I just did Miyabi and Sokaku so that I could run Yanagi on the other.
Yeah, Yanagi on the Typhon Destroyer. Absolutely, it's so important. Abs.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like Yanagi, and I really like running her as a main DPS. But yeah, most of the time at the moment, like when I'm just running HIA missions, or if I'm just using 3 agents, she'll end up running with Miyabi because it's just faster. Yeah, I think my favorite agent to play is probably Yanagi, which is a surprise because I almost skipped Yanagi.
That's really... Yanagi got so much like hate for, oh my god, she looks like an NPC. Why are they making a playable NPC? You got comments like that, right?
I did, yeah. I think I might have been the progenitor of some of those comments.
Oh.
I may have made some of those comments myself. I was like, maybe she's a bit plain, guys. She doesn't really have like, that much going on. I don't know if I really like her that much. And then when we saw her gameplay, I was like, oh, she's kind of cool. And then, yeah, the story is, I was like, oh, YOLO Temple at the end of the stream. And then she came home, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to build her now. And then when I started playing her, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Oh my god, this kid. Whoa.
Yeah. I was like really impressed. Really enjoyed her.
I think it's okay. I think a bit of the she looks really plain thing. It's because her ribbons and her hair, they're very flat in game. She doesn't have a lot. If you look at her like character art, it's a lot more spread out. She's a lot less straight up and down. And I think that makes her look more interesting in art than in game. Yeah,
I would agree with that. And I think when we first saw her in the, that it was kind of like a lore demo. It was like at the start of the game, and you spent like 10 seconds with each of the factions. When she first appeared there, she was alongside Haramasa, who had the transforming swords into arrows. And obviously we didn't really know that much about him at that time, or even we didn't really really know how he was going to play until Yanagi came out, really. Yeah. And then there was also Sukaku, who's like, like a blue Oni. So like that's pretty interesting. And then there's also Miyabi, who, Fox Virgil. So that's pretty interesting. So it felt like in comparison, Yanagi was just like the normal one. So maybe that's what kind of damaged her a little bit.
Okay, I'm really wary about, I don't know how interested the developers are in putting men in their game.
I do not think at all.
For the longest time, if I was thinking like, hey, one of these characters is going to be an A rank, it's probably going to be Haramasa.
I mean, well, you say that, but I mean, I'm not saying that they made him an S rank and gave him away for free because he was originally an A rank. But if I was saying that, I don't think it'd be that crazy. I don't think it'd be that crazy.
The character who was actually supposed to be an A rank is Lighter. They changed him.
Heard that.
Yeah. Lighter was originally intended to be an A rank attack agent.
Mm-hmm.
And they redesigned him basically in like 1.1 to be stun.
I think if he'd have been an A rank attack agent, I think the Sons of Kaladin would have been quite different at this point. If that's what he was supposed to be.
The thing about Sons of Kaladin, they don't have an attack agent. They basically don't have a DPS besides Piper. And debatably Bernice.
Yeah. You can on-fill Bernice,
You can. She's very good at being like this support who does damage. Before talking to you, I was actually kind of going through tier list stuff to try to like sort out my thoughts on some of this. Have you seen the chronological order tier list, by the way?
What do you mean a chronological? Is that like the order they came out, or
what do you think about this?
Hang on, I'm not looking at your screen. Right. So that's the order that they came out.
This is literally the order that characters released in. Yes.
Okay. and it's essentially also the power level of the characters. No,
Shrug.
are we crazy to say that?
No.
No,
But
right.
yes, that also means that maybe they have a bit of a precedent.
No, come off it. Come
Maybe.
off it. No. Miyabi is Void Hunter. She's gonna be different. She's gonna be okay. So we wanted to open the conversation about power creep because we did kind of talk about that before this mini podcast. So I guess this is as good of opportunity as any, right?
Right.
I think Miyabi stands alone, and Evelyn and Silver Soldier Ambi are gonna be, more like 5s than 6s, if that makes sense. But I think they are going to be better than 2s.
I can tell you with a measure of confidence, they are at minimum 6s. With a measure of confidence.
Oh my god. No. But they're not, though, right?
We'll see. Evelyn releases in 12 days. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, I don't talk about leaks.
Yeah.
But surely Evelyn isn't better at than Miyabi against neutral content. Against Fire Week content, I can understand it, right? Against Fire Week content, that makes sense to me. But if it's neutral, i.e. not Ice Week or Fire Week, so
if it's Electric Week,
sure, fine.
It'd be cool if they made an electric DPS. Because of how important like the element matchups are, that kind of, it's like a joke, but it kind of does matter that, yeah, when the enemy is Fire Week, this DPS is the best. They are fire. When the enemy is Electric Week, this DPS is electric. They are electric. Kind of just, that is balance in a way. Having one Miyabi to rule them all is like the opposite of balance.
Yeah, but I mean, she's a Void Hunter, so I kind of made the assumption that she would be, like in Genshin equivalent terms, like she would be an Archon.
Yeah.
She would kind of stand alone at the pinnacle of.
How good have Archons been historically?
Historically, not so much so, but like more recently, they've been pretty goated, right? Furina, Mavuika,
yes,
Nahida, and then maybe Zhonglin, maybe less so.
So it's been okay. A lot of people, Miyabi is absolutely like literally better than everything that's come before.
Yeah, that's true. But so was Yanagi. To be fair.
Yeah, like it is just a fact that Miyabi is better than everything that's come before. Like period. That's it. It's a fact. I don't think it's debatable.
No, I agree.
Genshin has never really had that until very recently, where Venti is just not a DPS. He's this support character. If you want to be like, Venti is really good when you fight 11 Hilly Churls. Base.
That's true.
I personally don't care. I think Venti is borderline one of the worst characters in the game.
Wow.
Zhongli always had this thing as a shielder.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, Zhongli released very bad. He released as. Are you aware that Zhongli actually released without Red Shred on his shield?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't playing at that time, but yeah, I've heard about it.
So yeah, they were not. He ended up being buffed primarily because Zhongli he's the Archon that represents the region that represents China. He is the god of China in Genshin lore. It's a very nationalistic driven agenda for him to be buffed.
Yeah.
But he did get those buffs because of the riots at home.
Yeah. I mean, we are definitely tangenting super hard here.
I thought that was
which is fine.
I thought that was the goal.
I don't know. Yeah, let's refocus on Zenless.
Okay.
Because just a tad.
Right.
Because yeah, I guess where we were starting this conversation from before we got into the weeds of the Archon conversation is that if Miyabi is meant to be a Void Hunter and Void Hunters are like the equivalent to Archons or what are they called in Honkai Star? They begin with E.
Emanators.
Emanators, yeah. Then she's meant to be like a tier above, right? And like as a layman,
what
like,
I'm trying to the reason I brought up the Genshin thing is that's essentially never been true. It's always been a lot of importance by or inflated importance by the community and perception more than it's actually been accurate. Raiden was and still is fine, but she was never the best. Technically, like the best DPSs in Genshin through 1.x to 3.x were Hu Tao and Xiangling.
Xiangling the goat.
Yeah, Tartaglia was legit.
Actually true.
Tartaglia used to be very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame what happened, but he used to be very, very good.
So what you're saying is that the fact that Miyabi is a Void Hunter does not protect her from. It does not mean not protect her, but does not mean that like stronger characters are not coming.
Yes. If it was ever going to happen, though, Miyabi actually does have things that make her better.
Yeah.
Her engine has an extra 30 base attack. Also, she has this fancy badge and a unique background in the character menu.
Which definitely affects how strong she is as a character. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
but what I'm saying that they've actually gone out of their way to make Miyabi more special than they have for the Emanators and the Archons. It's mostly that her engine has an extra 30 base attack.
Okay, so then to move this to what you were saying then about...
It has not necessarily been true that the Archons and the Emanators are better, but for Miyabi, you could make an argument that it could be true this time. I think it's unlikely to be true, though, because what is game balance? You want things to be situationally better, especially when this game is all about matchups and team building around those matchups. Miyabi can build a team for almost any matchup, and that's one of the best things about her. Miyabi has a ton of team options, and she can play into basically any content as long as it's at least neutral for her. But her always being the best on neutral might not always be true.
I agree, might not always be true, but I guess what I was trying to ask without asking it is, do we think that the upcoming attack characters are going to be stronger than her or equal to her on neutral content?
It's a bit of a black box because we're not going to know until we get to play them.
Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you I expect them to be better on weakness than Miyabi on neutral. That is my expectation.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that is also just speaking about game balance. You don't want a character to have no downside. And when a character does have a downside, you want them to have a payoff for it. The example is actually Haramasa. He's this incredibly kind of difficult character to play. And he kind of doesn't have a payoff for getting over the hump.
So mean.
Like, that's the problem. And that's why you actually kind of want to balance characters around Miyabi. If something has a big downside, you want it to have a payoff.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So if it's like you need to execute this pretty specific combo or have these specific characters. And if you do have that, you can be better than this high mark. That's just good design, I'd argue.
Very cool. Yeah.
The real kind of power creep in the room, though, is Miyabi does double Ellen's damage. So when they make things that are competitive with Miyabi, what happens to the existing characters?
It means it's Ellen Jova, right?
Like I guess that's the elephant in the room, right?
So, I think I watched your Ellen video the other day. Did you say something along the lines of M6 Ellen is like just about Miyabi at this point?
It's below.
It's below. Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't quite remember what you
said. So Ellen does not have I mentioned Miyabi is 100% more damage than Ellen. Ellen does not have a 100% gain from her Mindscapes. So even if you pull M6 Ellen, you are doing less than M0 Miyabi.
Ouch.
So the difference between the 1 and the 6 here is literally another 1.
That's actually crazy.
To like try to visualize the gap.
Okay, so just to open up the power creep conversation again, is Yuyuan as behind as Ellen is? Like if it was an Ether Void Hunter, would we be in the same situation with Yuyuan?
I think GN has fared better essentially by getting supports. In 1.0, I think GN was absolutely worse than Ellen. That is, I guess you could say, because of characters like Sokaku and Lycon.
Yeah.
But GN immediately got Qingyi in 1.1. And she's always had Nicole, and like that is like the biggest boons to her. Now there is a alternative to Qingyi teams. It's pretty similar in most cases.
And that's the Nicole Astra team.
Yeah, that's Nicole Astra.
And where you just don't worry about stun.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It is kind of just as HP values do continue to increase, it becomes harder and harder for GN to kill the enemies in the single stun duration. Where people go like, yeah, full M0 GN, one rotate or one stun kill enemies. Oh, suddenly now you need Qingyi M1. Oh, wait, it went up again. Now we need Qingyi M2. It's time to pull GN M1 or GN M2. Where you end up just keep chasing the rising HP values, and it becomes more and more difficult with time.
And eventually it will be like, well, you should just pull this other Ether character that would then deal with your Ether problem, and then you could just not have Juyuan.
Yes. Or just like alternative attack characters.
So, I guess I have another question. I'm not necessarily moving away from power creep, but I'm going to let you tangent for a second.
Okay, go for it.
And that is, so you juggle multiple gadgets, because I've seen you playing Honkai Star Rail, and I've also and you make Zenless and Genshin content, but I've not really seen you make Star Rail content.
I do not make Star Rail content.
Yeah. But like, do you still keep up with Honkai Star Rail?
Star Rail, I'm very thankful to not do content on it because it makes it a lot easier. The way I enjoy Star Rail is I'm very in and out with it. So there'll be like a period of like 3 updates where I'm into it and I'm like paying attention and having fun with it. And then I burn out and like stop logging in.
Sad. Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes sense. To be honest, like I haven't really been that deep on Star Rail, but like it's almost impossible to be in the gadget space and not hear the conversation around the Star Rail power creep stuff, which is
okay. So this is where you want to go.
So I guess what the conversation that I was going to open is that like, okay, so do we think that we're going to be closer to that Star Rail power creep, or I don't know, in more of a Genshin situation where things are situational and certain characters get indirectly buffed by new supports and stuff like that?
They will do that.
Okay. Okay, the floor is yours. You go.
Soldier 11 with Astra Lighter is actually really good. It's
Fair.
it's like she's like surprisingly good. She's with Astra Lighter. Have you tried it?
I have not. I actually do have Soldier 11 on my account, though, so I don't have
now
license.
is the time to try
I
it
can't try it.
because there won't be much of a reason to in a few weeks.
True. Poor Soldier 11. But I am building Kalita, so I could try it with Kalita and Astra. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hear you oohing. I hear you oohing, Mr. Theory.
Okay, hold on.
But I'm here to tell you that Kalita is fun.
True. Fuck off!
Who you talking
Hey,
about?
don't look down on me. I'm trying to do a Kalita impression.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. Yeah. Good work.
Close enough.
Yeah, but she's fun. I like playing Kalita. And she stuns quickly. So although her stun window damage might seem less, maybe she gets there faster than Chingy. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, she does a lot of daze damage. Kalita actually buffs chain attacks while the enemy is stunned. She does have A buff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not super useful.
Ouch.
But she does have A buff, which is better than A rank and B. So
Yeah. So better, right?
yeah. Kalita's, I think the best, the mild take, the best standard banner is probably Lycon. Maybe it's Rena.
Okay.
I was again going through like this tier list stuff earlier. We had a debate about this. I think we settled on saying we think Grace is better than Kalita. What do you think about that?
Ow. Yeah, okay, Grace is pretty good. I think the fact that she's Electric Anomaly and the fact that Electric does scale really well with Anomaly means that you can kind of run her with other Anomaly characters, even though she really wants the field time. So I don't think that she'll ever be bad, because she's kind of like a what's the word? Like she's a standard option. Like, if you wanted the Electric Anomaly. Grace is okay. Grace carried me through the early game. Thank you, Grace.
I played Piper in 1.0 until GN released.
Yeah, Piper is good. I actually think Piper is, like, if Piper was in this list, she's above Rena for me.
Yeah, I think Piper kind of goated. That's why I brought up Jane earlier, or the chronological order tier list. Now, like, more than ever, I feel like Jane and Piper are really very similar because they're both kind of being not carried by, but Bernice is very important for them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting.
It is interesting because Bernice is also not important for other Anomaly characters, but other Anomaly characters really benefit from Bernice.
Yeah.
So even though like Bernice might be in Jane's best team, it's not Bernice's best team.
Well, right now the best Bernice team is Miyabi, Astra, Bernice.
Yeah, because everyone wants Miyabi, but also Yanagi as well. So
yeah, Yanagi Bernice is great.
Yanagi simping over here.
Ooh.
I guess what I'm saying is that like as much as Jane might want Bernice might not want Jane. Or
thoughts on Neko Mia? I think she's where she's born. Okay. If you have to pick one standard banner character as the worst, who do you pick?
Yeah, it's Neko. It's
Neko? Ooh, yeah. Okay. I feel really bad.
Are you gonna try and change my mind?
No, I'm not.
Good.
I'm not, unfortunately. I feel like no one plays Neko. I can't even like try to counter argument it. No one wants to play her.
Yeah.
I got Neko after I'd already built Soldier and been like really disappointed.
I didn't get her until after I'd had and built Jane. So at that point,
okay,
it was like, well, I already have my physical DPS, so I'm sorry, and Piper, by the way.
Yeah,
So I had
crazy.
Jane and Piper built, and I was like, well,
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry. No.
the standard banner characters are definitely the characters struggling the most in this power creep environment.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And like it's really it's difficult, right? it's difficult to play a lot of them in the end game content right now.
I wonder. So you put Lycan at the top.
I do.
Yeah, I wonder about the justification there.
It's really just that he is okay. So the thing about Rena, she's a shock buffer, primarily.
Mm-hmm.
That is what a lot of her like our budget is. She gives this 30 to 40% pen buff, yes, but she also extends shock duration by 3 seconds, which increases the damage of shock disorder primarily. So, Mr. Yanagi, I'm sure you're aware of all this, and like you understand why Rena has uses.
Yeah, I don't actually have Arena though.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
True story.
The thing about she does that stuff, like the issue is she could probably do a little more. Rena's kind of like directly comparable to Nicole for Mono Shock Yanagi, and Astra should actually just be better.
Okay. I mean, again, like we're kind of bringing up that conversation around the A ranks being goated again. But yeah, Nicole's great.
Yeah,
right?
Nicole go.
Yeah.
It goes back to like the cubes, and Nicole gives Death Shred, which is similar to Pen, where it's this different stat. Technically, it has an anti-synergy with Pen. When you have Pen, Def percent is worse, or when you have Def percent Shred, Pen percent is worse. Technically, but whatever. We're gonna move past that briefly.
Okay, we'll skim over it.
So like the benefit is that it's an alternative stat. So Nicole is essentially like a true multiplier for your damage.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense to me. But I guess with the Arena versus Lycan situation, you have to like I don't remember what Lycan's mindscapes are, but I do remember that Rena's M1 is really good.
Lycan's M1 is 15% more days on his EX. I think.
So if someone was in a position where they had both and they were getting towards like 300 on their pulls, whose mindscape would like if they're both pretty good, maybe you got both of them. What's not more valuable,
so
but what's
what I try to like stress is a mindscape is only as good as you playing the character. If you play Lycan and you don't play Rena, then you're gonna get more value out of Lycan M1, even though it's 22% days on his EX. Whatever you use means you're getting value from it. If it sits on the bench, you might as well not have it.
Totally, yeah. So I guess like if you are running like a Yanagi Pen situation, then it's
then you're actively using Rena and you really want Rena M1.
Yeah.
If it's not a stretch to say Rena's M1 is like the best standard banner mindscape level.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch.
Yeah. I kind of I kind of was hinting for you to say that.
Yeah, if we break it down, it is 10% pen on her M1, which is, while it's not the biggest buff, it is a buff, and it's an extra 5-second duration. Does the in-game text still say 5.5? If it does,
Were
it's
they meant to change it?
Yeah, it's actually not 5.5.
It's inaccurate.
It's 5. It still says 5.5. Yeah, they need to change that.
Did I just see that we got M5 Rena? Like, what is this?
I told you I have a 20% 50-50 win rate, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't joking.
Okay, show me. You're one away from the feet pick.
I mean, you got the feet name. Yeah, the feet name card.
The feet name card. That's gonna be a good one. Okay.
I have M5 on Rena and Grace because I just only lose 50-50s.
Is it just those two that you got M5? Like your soldiers just like M1, M0?
Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. Yeah,
So
that's
funny.
correct. But yeah, the 5% it's a Rena's M1's 5% duration buff. It's a 10% pen buff at max.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's
yeah,
not
I'm
enough
just
to
so-
make you use Rena if you aren't already using her. Was the point that I wanted to make. But if you are already using her, it's a buff. It is better than nothing.
Okay, that's fair, man. Makes sense. And I guess with the thought of putting Lycan at the top.
It's just that you can play him with Miyabi.
Yeah, is it just because of Miyabi? Yeah.
Yeah, really. That's it. Miyabi Sokaku Lycan is good enough for you to be able to separate like Yanagi or Bernice from Miyabi.
Yeah, and then that kind of frees them up.
That also separates Astra from Miyabi too. So you're freeing up a lot of characters for your account for Deadly Assault, where it kind of makes a difference. It's real. That's like the utility. We could also talk about, you can play Grace with Miyabi very similarly, but I think it's a bit worse. And then Soldier 11 and Neko are DPSs. I think Soldier 11 is a bit better because she's one of the only options to do fire damage currently. So against someone like Pompeii, who, if you've done Viewer Deadly Assault, help. Do you agree with the statement that Pompeii is the most difficult boss to get the 3 stars on right now? When you're trying to 9-star on an account.
What's he weak to again? Is he the fire weak?
He's the fire weak one.
No.
No?
No, the most recent Deadly Assault, I can't remember what it was. The middle one was the hardest.
Wait, what?
No, yeah.
The corruption complex?
Yeah, I think that's just my account though, to be honest.
Whoa.
Because I have Miyabi for the first half, and then for the first one, and then for the third one, I have Bernice.
You have Bernice and Jane. Okay.
Yeah, and then I ran Lucy as well because he's fire weak, and it's very comfy.
So what did you have left?
So then I had Yanaki. Wait, no, is he electric weak or is he ether?
He's electric ether weak. He's both.
Oh, I think I was. I cleared that with the Juyuan, except I don't have a limited stunner for Juyuan, so I'm still using Ambi. So that
Play Astra Nicole. GN.
That's what you said, and I should try that.
It's very easy. But yeah, the thing is, if you don't have Bernice, Pompeii is the most difficult one to get the 4 stars on, because you either need to dedicate like a lot of resources to doing it, or you just don't get the 3-star, or you do something very difficult like playing Jane DPS into Pompeii. Well, it's possible. It's very difficult, and most people won't be able to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of why I was saying earlier about I think Bernice is really important for Jane and Piper.
Yeah, Bernice.
Because it's not, cool. It's just a bit of a struggle boss without them.
That makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So, where do we get on power creep? How do we feel about power creep? Do we think it's coming? Do we think we should?
It's here. It's aggressive. It's not a myth. Aggressive. It's not a myth. I don't think it's a myth. That's what I have to say about power creep. The characters now do double the damage characters did in 1.0, and we're 5 updates into the game.
Yeah. I guess. Do we think it carries on going at this rate, or do we think it only did that because of,
I think it was very ramped up because of Miyabi.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. I think you're right. Power creep is here, but I think hopefully what we see things coming up to Miyabi's level as opposed to things exceeding that level.
Yes, we kind of want things to be balanced around that point instead of just being like, this is I don't like the idea of this is an unreachable point. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you pulled a limited DPS, either attack or anomaly, and then you run good supports with them. Maybe not best in slot, but you run good supports with them, and you can't clear because it's literally maybe let's say in 2.5 or something, it's like triple where we are now if it carries on at this rate, right?
Right.
So it means that Ellen is just. It's not a case of she can clear. It's just going to take you longer. Then it becomes a case of she just can't do it anymore, and you need these other characters.
Yeah, you were saying
surely can't happen.
You were saying you watched my Ellen video where I was like, I was very soft about it. Where I was very, you can still do it. It's just gonna be more difficult. At what point does it become unreasonably difficult?
Yeah. At what point does it become unreasonable?
And like, would someone argue that we're already there? I don't know. It's kind of subjective.
Yeah. Okay. I think we had like one more thing that we wanted to talk about, which is, and we kind of started opening that conversation into the future, right? So, what do you see for the future of Zenless Zone Zero? Where do you think we're going with characters? Do you think Anomaly will still be so prevalent as we move forward?
Anomaly is a core game mechanic. It's always going to be prevalent. People say Anomaly meta, and I just kind of laugh because the culmination of Anomaly meta is an attack character who just says they're Anomaly.
Yeah, because you have to build her with. She's even like, you need to build me with crit.
Yeah. I don't think it's accurate to say Anomaly meta. I think that's a little misinformed.
Yeah, there's a part of me that kind of wishes that we didn't have this clear attack anomaly support thing. I know they want to use it for team building, but I think it would be kind of cool if it just wasn't there at all.
Okay. It's basically the same as weapon category in Genshin.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess, because we don't really have weapon categories.
Yeah, we don't have weapon categories. It is basically sword, claymore, polearm, catalyst. They can technically release a agent on any class they want, or I don't actually know the technical term. Is it class? I don't know. They could have released an agent of any type that they want and just have them do something that's against their type. Like Miyabi is an anomaly character who's actually an attack character. They can make a defense character who's actually a DPS. It's specialty, thank you. Like they can make a support agent who is an anomaly agent. That's probably the most likely thing because applying anomaly is a real support like niche. You can make a support that applies anomaly.
I'm just thinking about that in my my mind hole was just like, you can make a support that applies anomaly, and then I had like a moment where
people build anomaly mastery on Lucy and anomaly mastery on Sukaku like, for Miyabi.
Just stack AM on Sukaku. Yeah, that's the
yeah. Like
we could do it. We can do it.
Just because the specialties exist doesn't mean they have to be firm. You can make a stun character who's an all-field DPS. You can even make two of them in the same update.
Yeah, I wonder if that's happening.
So while it exists, it's not. It mostly exists for balancing and for support availability because of the like additional ability system.
But does it? Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
So like, a great way, something that they did is Miyabi's additional ability is activated by support or faction, which means you aren't able to play Miyabi in a team with Lighter and Bernice at the same time.
Which sucks, by the way.
Yes. If Miyabi was attack, Miyabi's additional still wouldn't be active, but Lighter's would be. So it would be closer to working. That's what I mean when I said they kind of balance characters around support availability. Because if Lighter Bernice was, I guess, enabled, If Miyabi's additional was Anomaly, it would be Miyabi's best team, period.
Yeah, and I guess like then from a design perspective, they can kind of use that to limit like what supports are going to work best with other agents. Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, where do we think we're going with Zenless Zone Zero?
If they, I mentioned this when I last talked to Ketai. I hope that the Hollow Zero abilities.
Okay, do you see them?
They're really cool, and I hope they continue to backfill the roster. And once the roster has kind of been backfilled, I would like to see like an option to use one of the abilities on a character.
Yeah,
or on each agent.
Cool.
It's like a gearing option. That's like super duper wish list stuff. But I think it could add another depth to like gearing and playing characters. It also is a way to directly buff older agents.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the thing is that like not everyone is going to get those additional abilities though.
Well,
so
everyone would have them.
Yeah, but some people might feel kind of bummed that like certain characters are like better than others with their additional ability thing.
Sure, but the point is the characters need the buff.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Miyabi could basically comparatively has worse additional ability modifiers than Ellen. And it could be a way to buff Ellen. It could make her more competitive. It's not going to make her better. It's not going to make her competitive, but it would make her better.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it also does feel like I was just playing devil's advocate a little bit, but like they put a lot of effort into them, and they're really cool. The additional ability things from the Lost Void. So it would be great to see them make it into the game, especially if it was like something you had to work towards or something you had to unlock in some way. Like kind of like going back to an old character, in a year's time or something, and then being able to bring Miyabi's Lost Void abilities into, using her to on your Shiyu runs and stuff. That would be sick. That'd be so cool. So, yeah, I'm super down for that idea.
That's like a super wish list idea as they continue to give them to all their characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool, man.
And then other things I'd like to see. I'd like an Ether Anomaly and an Ether Stun Agent, please. That'd be really cool.
Fuck's sake. Can we just fill out the roster? God damn it. It's getting silly now. It's fine.
Is it? Like, okay, how's it silly?
I don't know. It just feels a little bit like, oh, great. Okay, here we go. There's another electric DPS. Let's go. When we still haven't filled out the other character. Like, where are the defense characters? Like what?
We got Caesar. We got Seth. Seth and Caesar are great.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying they're not great, but like it would just be nice. Just be nice. Let's have some difference. I don't know. I know that it's more down to the gameplay and stuff, but like from an initial impressions perspective, like as a player, I don't feel overly excited about Ambi.
You don't.
Silver Soldier.
Is it because of Haramasa?
A little bit.
Ooh.
It's a little bit because of Haramasa, a little bit because of Yanagi. Because we were just talking about the like, oh, I like to play Yanagi hyper carry, and it's like, well, then I'm probably not gonna want to do that anymore if I got Ambi Silver Soldier. So
okay. Yeah, that's
and then also I do have Haramasa for free, and so does everyone. I don't know. It just feels a little bit like it's a big shrug from me, Ambi Silver Soldier. Plus, I already have Ambi on my account. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, base Ambi has the base Ambi design is so much better than the new one. They did not.
I saw you running around in base Ambi design. Base Ambi design is great. base ambi design is so good.
Yeah, I was having okay, the reason I'm running out of Zambi, I had a conversation on stream. It was like, you know what? I think I would pay money for Silver Soldier to get a skin that is just Anby.
So
like
real.
the Ellen skin
So
or the
real.
Astra skin.
But yeah, like, I've forgotten how we got here, but I guess the point I make, as a player, it's not super hype to get, particularly when they do the drip marketing and it's like, oh wow, electric attack agent. It's like, oh well, I kind of feel like I have like 2 electric DPS teams already though, so I don't know, you know.
Okay, so
particularly,
I guess the argument is that
I know like the gameplay difference, the characters are gonna like kind of make the game, and they're gonna play differently. Absolutely, yeah, sure. But, yeah,
it's a bit of the power creep makes it that they need to rebuild the roster. Yanagi is still really good, but
yeah,
you could say Yanagi is like relegated to a Miyabi support. We need an electric DPS now because the roster you could argue that the roster doesn't have an electric DPS if Yanagi is a Miyabi support. And we still need one because you could say Harmasa wasn't good enough. If you won, it's a bit of a like bad faith argument. But the idea that they need to reestablish the roster because they keep making the characters better and better isn't super wrong.
it's not super wrong, but it's like
It feels bad.
Still stings a little. Still stings just a little.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I guess that's how I feel about it. Is that like, yeah, let's just feel. Can we just have characters that look exciting from a distance? You know? Ooh, ether defense. Ooh, wow, that sounds. You know, like even without knowing anything else, I'd be like, ooh, that sounds cool. Let's find out what they do.
Okay, you say that. We mentioned. Okay, what do defense agents do? What do they do?
They're supports. They do whatever.
Yeah, it's not super clear. I don't know how excited I'd be to hear character as defense because I wouldn't. That's not enough information for me.
Yeah, I know you. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you know, like if it was something different than what we already have, it feels more exciting from a distance. I think as we get closer and we see more of Ambi Silver Soldier, you know, I might very well change my mind. But like from a distance, from this distance at this point, I'm like, eh.
Maybe she'll have an extremely similar kit to Harmas and it'll be very funny.
That would actually be very funny.
Would people... Okay. It's like a joke, but do you think people actually are willing to spend money for Haramasa but a waifu?
Yes.
Yes?
No question. Yes.
No question. Damage is the same. Everything is exactly the same, but it's a waifu.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
My chat is just spamming yes for sure. Yes.
Bro.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, the thing is as well is that if a female character came out that was Haramasa, that was she was hot, jiggle, smile, let's go. Like if that happened, people would be like, oh, it's such a skill cap agent and you have to get really good and the skills floor is quite high, but then the skill ceiling is also really high, and then they can do like better than, you know, slightly better than Shiyu on damage. Oh my god. Yeah, like people would be like singing their praises. No.
Wow.
Not even kidding.
I guess that says a lot about the player base. It's sad. I feel bad for Armasa.
Yeah. Me too. We'll play it.
What's up, Prestley? You feel like every limited has been power creeping standard banner characters rather than new niches? Yeah, basically.
Sorry, was that? Oh, sorry, you're responding. But yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But again, because it's year one, they kind of they are building their initial roster. Like you could say the roster isn't after the first year, we'll have had the first round of limited characters, and that is the roster. Like that's the base roster. In my mind, because we don't talk about Genshin standard banner characters. We talk about the year one characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ganyu or Xiao or Hu or Eula, more than we talk about Diluc and Kurzeng.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
So I don't have a problem with them establishing a base roster. I think making Haramasa and then making an electric attack agent immediately after is a lot more questionable.
Yeah, and it kind of stings a little bit as someone who focuses on making content for like free to play and low spend players, because I talk about value, Jason.
Okay. Well, it's true. Haramasa directly reduces the value of any future electric attack character.
Exactly.
Unless they are significantly better.
But it also reduces the value of building Haramasa if you really like Ambi.
Yes, but that is...
It's
if you were
like,
going to build
down to the
Haramasa,
individual, I guess.
probably already built him.
Yeah. Poor me.
Which is,
I
I guess...
20 Haramasa.
Like, oh, you never built him? You skipped Haramasa?
No, I didn't skip him. I have him. I'll get to him. I'll get around to him.
Well, you can't not have him. I say skip as a joke. Where you didn't build him.
I will build him.
Well, it sounds like you're not going to now.
Well, I'm just gonna run Yanagi. Build the boy. Free is free. So true.
I mean, okay. Free is free, but resources are not. They cost time.
And time is money, man.
Time is literally money. It's $10 a day to max refresh.
Do you max refresh?
I am a drive disk fiend.
Oh, you gotta get those fifth slot pens somehow, man. You gotta do it.
But what I mean by that is your energy matters. You don't want to just spend it. It is 2+ weeks to build an agent. You don't want to spend 2 weeks of energy on an agent and then not play them.
Yeah.
Just because he is free does not mean you have to build him.
I feel like it does take a while to level up and get characters into a usable state as well.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, it feels long, though. Yeah. Gross.
So, like, yeah, it does. People have already put resources into Haramasa, most likely. Unless, there you go.
I'm going to get there. Don't you worry. I'm building Kalita right now for Evelyn, and then I'm going to work on my
Tell me about how your experience
Ambi.
really went on the creator server with Haramasa.
Without telling you, yeah. Yeah, not great, bro. Not great. Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
Right of having tried him. A lot of people may have already put the resources into him, and whether they're happy or not kind of matters, but the fact is they've already built him.
I think the
Switch does make additional electric attacks like a more difficult sell.
I mean, you can get the idea of how he plays before you upgrade him, though. You know, you can kind of like fiddle around with him. There's the trial as well, like he was on the trial in 1.4. So you can have a fiddle with him, see how he goes.
Yeah.
So it's not like people did it blindly, but yeah. Yeah.
They have like this obsession with making you play the character solo. I was like very
the trials could be a lot
confused
better. I actually do.
when they made us play solo Astra in the story. I was very confused.
Yeah, that was horrible, by the way. Yeah. Because that was like the intro to Astra as well. And it made her just feel absolutely dog shit terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were just like, oh, I sing and then I attack while I'm singing and all I can do is dodge. Yeah, okay, this is awful. Please let me out.
I went off this ride.
Can you build DPS Astra? Is that possible? Just
You can do anything you want.
I mean, is it usable? Will it clear?
You can do anything you want.
Okay, let's do it. Chaotic Metal Astra.
Oh, cook.
I'm not gonna do it.
But yeah, they could be better with the story trials. Like specifically the Astra one is like the breaking point for me. It's like, okay, this is enough. Don't make me play this.
Yeah, that's fair.
How did I even get here? What was? I was trying to circle around to something. Remember. Oh yeah, you mentioned Kaleda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it had anything to do with shoot. Something about her.
And you were telling me how much of a good idea it was to build her?
True. Oh yeah, based. People didn't have insight. Lower. Regarding Astra and the value question. So I'll say Astra is generally a 15% damage increase over other support options. 15 to 20%. What is the value? How do you answer those questions?
What is that value?
Yeah. What is that value to you? Because all of my Astra content, people were in the comments arguing about whether or not 15% is good enough for a limited pull.
Yeah. I think it depends.
Oh, what does it depend on?
I think it depends on where you are right now, I guess. You know, like where your teams are right now. I think at the start of the game, when, you know, we were, all very new and fresh to Zenless Zone Zero, I think what I valued more was building the teams around the characters that I wanted to use, right?
Right.
So, like, I want to pull Jane because, you know, she's cool and I like best overworld agent, right? So, pull Jane, then, well, how do I make Jane good? Oh, well, Benny's going to be great with her because then you can, like, do disorders and shit. And then it's like, okay, yeah, and then I should also build a support to go along with that. Cool, right. Okay, right. Cool. So I think if you're in a position where you have like 2 or 3 teams that, you know, you've got your main DPS and you're kind of happy with them and that team, then Astra makes sense. But I think if you don't have those 2 or 3 teams, depending on, you know, like how important 9-starring Deadly Assault is to you, then you don't value Astra particularly highly. But if you have those teams, then yeah, Astra's a 15% increase, probably in all of those teams. So you should probably get Astra.
Right. The other thing that Astra does is she enables you to use a different support on another team, which kind of isn't that valuable.
Yeah.
There are a lot of support agents right now. And
yeah, you got options, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're only building 2 teams, you have.
Well, let's say even if you're building 3.
Sukaku, Lucy, and Nicole.
You've got Sukaku, Lucy, and Nicole. You've also got Rina. You've also got Caesar.
Yeah.
There are technically a lot of support options.
And Seth.
Anyway,
yeah. So, yeah, but if she's like a 10 to 15% increase over those, and you already have 2 really solid teams, and you're happy with those DPSs, you're not looking to replace anyone on those teams, then yeah, Astra's a great pull. Plus, you know, like if she's a 10 to 15% increase for this character, if you're planning to use her in the future with like Evelyn or something, then yeah, I think Evelyn is a good pull. Astra.
Ooh. It's going to be interesting to see how people respond to Evelyn without Lighter. Because Lighter is a character that a lot of people don't have.
Mm-hmm. Husbando skip. Yep.
don't be afraid to try Astra Nicole.
Well, with Evelyn.
With anyone. But yes, Evelyn, GN. Don't be afraid to try it. You don't have to have a stun agent in your teams.
Okay, I'm down. I mean, I've got kind of comfortable with stun agents.
Compare it to Kaleda and see which one you like.
I know you love talking about anomaly methods, so yeah.
Compare it with Kaleda and see which one you like more, because you may be surprised or you may like Kaleda. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I will compare those two.
Either way, it's an interesting perspective for, I guess, your content.
Yeah.
What do you do if you don't have a lighter?
What do you do if you don't have lighter? What do you do if you don't have lighter and Chingy?
Caesar. Or Nicole.
Yeah, I know, but what if you don't have Caesar?
Ooh.
Then Nicole. Then it has to be Nicole.
Well, you can't not have Nicole.
No, yeah.
Literally impossible.
It's literally me. Yeah, that's literally me. Yeah.
I'm surprised you skipped lighter and Chingy.
And Caesar.
And Caesar. Wait, you skipped Caesar too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I made a rule that I could only pull one character per patch, and I pulled entirely. And then I pulled entirely based on wanting different DPSs.
So were you skipping Astra?
No. I've changed my mind on that now. So I've come completely around on it, and now I've decided that I'm going to pull Astra and Evelyn.
Okay, that's interesting.
But this is the first patch where I'm double pulling.
What made you change your mind?
Also because I'm sitting on like 50k polychromes at this point.
Okay, so that's what made you change your mind.
Well, yeah, because I kind of made the rule, and then I was like, actually, you could probably pull more than one character per patch, even as a free-to-play game.
I'll mention this. Engines are 2/3 the pull cost of a character, on average.
Yeah.
They are, generally speaking, 30% over free-to-play options. That is really similar to a support.
Yeah, that's true. Which is like a whole character.
Don't be afraid of pulling an engine here or there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just want to draw a line for content, which is respectable.
Yeah, like the only engine I've pulled so far is Miyabi's. And I don't necessarily see that changing anytime soon.
Okay.
Unless Evelyn is...
then your Miyabi is untoppable, it's true.
My Miyabi is what?
Untoppable. She is a monolith.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to ask you something. Shit.
Oh, I was talking about engines.
Were we? Oh, right. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. I literally.
Oh no, I asked what made you change your mind about pulling two characters, or about only pulling one character per update.
Because we got so much free stuff. It was like, even as a free-to-play player, you should be able to, you can probably plan your pulls to kind of get more than one character per patch at this point.
If you really want one.
So it was kind of like I really like both of the characters in this patch, so I think I'm going to pull both. Plus, it also feels like the Stars of Lyra, and this actually might be like my next video, so like hot off the press, like when are we seeing the next Stars of Lyra? Because both of them work really well with everyone else, and I think we can see Evelyn's stuff in game at the moment.
We can.
And she just needs a stun or support.
Yes, it's a stun or support.
And Astra just needs a attack or anomaly. So basically, any coherent teams, like, you can just put them in, right? So
it's a lot easier to put a support anywhere than it is a DPS.
Yeah, but I think from like a lore perspective, it kind of sucks for a little bit. Like for the Stars of Lyra, like if you really wanted to run like a full Stars of Lyra team, you're going to be a little bit like, oh, okay, I guess I have to wait for a bit. But I think that they've planned it so that the Stars of Lyra are going to be fine for a bit, which is why, their additional abilities are so open.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think if you want to say that on any DPS character, it's probably Miyabi, who's this like just has a lot of team options, more so than Evelyn. But I think that's because I'm so caught up on potential damage differences between what characters are available for Evelyn. There's like clearly a best in slot option.
Hang on, you keep cutting in and out.
Sorry, there is like clearly a best in slot option for Evelyn teams, and it's a bit of like is this still great argument.
I left and I came back.
Oh, okay.
Cause you keep your voice kept clipping in and out, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing.
I feel like that's on my end. Sorry. I was saying,
no, that's okay.
I think if you want to say that about a DPS character, it's Miyabi.
It's Miyabi,
who can be played in basically who has a lot of team options. And that's primarily because you can argue Lycon is a free character. Sokaku Lycon is a free-to-play friendly team, and it doesn't exactly overlap with other agents. You can also play Astra Nicole with Miyabi and run not only Mastery Nicole. You can also play Bernice with Miyabi. You can play Yanagi with Miyabi. You can play Piper with Miyabi. You can play Grace with Miyabi. Miyabi is, and like, they're all, okay, they're not all similar, but they are relatively similar.
Yeah,
they might
guess,
be
like, from a
more similar than all of Evelyn's team options. There might be a disparity between team options for Evelyn.
I guess that's true. I guess what I mean, like, is not necessarily that Miyabi doesn't have the most options right now, but the way that they've designed the Stars of Lyra characters is so that they can be used openly with potential future upcoming agents.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
Miyabi is still tied to her faction plus a support, right? So that does kind of mean that you couldn't run.
They would need to make a new Section 6 character if they're not a support, or if the team doesn't have a support in it.
Yeah. Or if you didn't want to run a support, like I know it's not optimal, but like I've seen people run Ellen with like Lighter and Lycan, for example. So if you wanted to do that with Miyabi, then she wouldn't be able to activate her additional ability. So I guess, kind of what I was saying is that like the Stars of Lyra characters have been specifically designed so that they can be used in any coherent team, because it's like 2 out of the 4 other agent types that they can both be used with.
Right.
And the other ones don't really make much sense, because it doesn't really make much sense to run an anomaly character with Evelyn. And even if you did, you'd also be running a stun or support. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think Astra is in 100% this very generic character.
Yeah, because they want her to be like the generic support, and
until they make a more specialized one. Yeah.
But I think with Evelyn as well, it feels a little weird to me that she's so generic, and I think that's what feels a little bit, not necessarily off, but it just feels a little bit weird. Because her additional ability is literally just stun or support, and it's like, oh, okay, well that's like literally any coherent team.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You're not going to play Anomaly Evelyn.
Yeah, which also means that like as we move forward, and obviously like in terms of value, I kind of always say things along the lines of you should never pull a character for what they could be. You should pull them for what they are now, because that's where the value is.
Especially in this game, the concept of future value is so questionable.
Exactly, especially because we seem to be ramping up quite fast. So I guess where I'm going with that idea, though, before we get so like wrapped up with the idea that you shouldn't pull for future value, is the concept that potentially Evelyn could benefit a lot in the future because she is so flexible. Because she needs a stun or support. Because
it's funny. So Evelyn's in the game. She's a chain attack DPS.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a drive disc set.
That is also true. Yeah.
And that's like the thing that is missing. She has Astra Lighter, She's basically releasing with the most complete team in Zenless history so far. She could benefit from a more niche chain attack or fire support than Astra, and like that could be a substitution that you could make.
Yeah.
But Lighter's just kind of really
you
good.
Can't really see it. Yeah, you can't really see it getting any better anyway.
Yeah, Lighter's just kind of really good.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the way
Damn,
that
I
they
should've
could
pulled
buff
Lighter.
Evelyn in the future more than anything else is giving her a drive disc set.
Yeah.
That's like the thing that she could use.
Yeah, that'd be good for her. Hey, it might happen.
Yeah, I hope. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. We're due for drive sets in 1.6, and then I guess it'll be 2.0 for the sets afterwards. So they'll probably be centered around new characters still.
Some of my chat are asking, like, what do we think drive sets are? I think, is it Woodpecker is meant to be her best 4-piece at the moment?
Evelyn's drive
Is that a
options
working
are Woodpecker or Hormone Punk.
Or Hormone Punk, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. I was kind of thinking, what if you had like a bunch of fire with her, you know? Oh, someone in my chat just mentioned it as well. Maybe Inferno Metal, if you could guarantee that the enemy was going to be on fire because of the crit
Her
rate
engine is 24 crit rate. Her passive is 25 crit rate. Evelyn starts at 68 crit rate. 68.4 technically. She can have 2 crit rate subs before she is overcapping Inferno Metal. It is genuinely unusable.
But I mean, what if you're not pulling the engine?
Then you can try it, yes. But if you're not using the engine, you're using Mercado Desire, which is 20 crit rate instead of 24.
Yeah, that's actually still pretty decent for crit rate anyway.
Yeah, you're still kind of screwed.
Can you still get Mercado Desire, or is it only in 1.4?
It was only in 1.4. You cannot get it anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
Did you miss it?
No, I got it.
Okay,
but I
good.
just mean like I feel like I keep getting comments from people who are like, "Oh, I only just started playing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm gonna continue to have to be like, "Oh, yeah, this event engine was good. You can't get it anymore. Sorry."
Oof.
Really good free to play option for Evelyn is something you can't get. Just FYI.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god. Silver Wolf Light Cone, maybe.
Silver Wolf is that something that happened in Star Rail?
Yeah, there was. It also happened in Genshin where they released 1.1.
Furina.
There was this event weapon that ended up being really good later. Furina, this weapon called Festering Desire was an energy regen main stat that gave elemental skill damage and crit rate for elemental skill damage.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
That does ring a bell. Because I remember I was a newer player when Fontaine came out for Genshin. I only played Genshin for about a year and a half or so. And I've dropped it since I started making Zenless content, basically. But I remember like watching Furina guides and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Furina. Like, what can I use with her?"
What is this Festering Desire weapon?
Yeah, just use this Festering Desire. And I was like, "Oh, cool. Oh, it's like free. Nice. Okay." And then you like go like one step further into like Googling it or looking at Kaching mains, and it's like, "Oh, you can't get it anymore." Like, and it's like, "Oh, great. Okay." Also, yeah, you needed to have played like 3 years ago, by the way. It was like, "Oh, great. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's total waste."
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. To this point.
Yeah, you could fish for the pipe or you could use Favonia's sword.
I did fish.
Those were the options.
Yeah. Oh, I fished for that pipe. I R5 that pipe.
Oh, congrats. Fishing, it takes so much time. It's
awful. Yeah.
They stopped making fishing weapons. That one doesn't have one. They gave up.
Good. Good. I think that's for the best.
That's for them.
I don't know why they didn't stop after the catch, honestly.
They did end of the line for Sumeru. It's this bow, and it's horrible.
Oh.
But the one for Fontaine is pretty good. The pipe's cool.
Cool. I
Yeah.
guess, maybe we should start wrapping up because like
let's wrap
I want
up.
to do an account review. But I guess I just kind of wanted to just ask you quickly, what other kind of games do you play? Well, I feel like I see you making Genshin content, I see you making Zenless content, and I've seen you on stream playing Honkai Star Rail. But like, what other stuff are you into? Jimothy Stern, if I can call you Jimothy. No.
I love Pokemon. I love Monster Hunter.
Nice.
And today, Spider-Man 2 releases on PC, so I will be playing that off stream.
Oh, sick. You gonna stream it?
I'm for sure gonna at least play it off stream. I have no idea if I'm gonna stream it. Okay. Maybe I'll stream a little bit of it. I'm not sure yet.
Nice. That's cool, man.
It doesn't run well on Steam. Oh no. I also play a lot of Persona games. I played Metaphor on stream, ReFantagio last year.
Oh, I think I remember seeing your stream pop up and you were playing it, and I watched for a bit, and then I was like, I don't want to spoil it. I'll get to it eventually.
Okay, so it was gonna release, or it released between Zenless patches, like a week away from the next Zenless patch. So I speedran it. And by speedrun it, I mean I did like 14-hour streams.
Wow. Yeah, that's why I saw your streams pop up, because you were streaming for so long. So like every time I opened YouTube, it was like Jason, Metaphor. And I was like, ooh, Metaphor. I'm not going to spoil it for myself though.
Yeah.
I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, I love Persona, by the way. So I still haven't finished Reload, Reload, but yeah, 4 or 5.
4 or 5 are great.
Are amazing, yeah.
If you liked Persona 4, you will like Reload.
Yeah, I'm about 10 hours into Reload, and I'm digging it. I played the original P3. That's a very
so you've played P3.
Yeah, so I played P3, but yeah, like I'm about 10 hours into Reload now, and yeah, it's good. But I played it when it first came out, and now I feel like I'm probably gonna have to restart because I'm like, I don't even know whose social link I'm meant to be working on.
I feel like it's not enough of a modernization of Persona 3. They could have done a lot more.
Oh yeah.
That's my opinion on Reload. If you want like a more pushed forward version of the games, like Persona 5, you should check out Metaphor ReFantagio.
Okay,
it's very good.
I will. Yeah, I haven't bought it yet. I was kind of just waiting for a sale. But
yeah, it's very good. I recommend it strongly. Exclusively for the gameplay.
It does look good. I just like I said, like I'm only about 10 hours into Reload, so I just don't know if I have the time. But it does look cool.
It's on sale now. This is a chatter.
Is it?
It's
don't tempt me, because then I'll end up spending like money on it, and then I won't play it. And I also
play it on stream.
Sorry?
Play it on stream.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if the stream will like it. Maybe I'll do a vote. See if they want me to play it, because I also bought Rebirth, because that released a week ago.
I will give you advice.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
If you maintain 1/3 of your viewership, that's good enough.
That's good enough. It's good enough.
That's like the best you can hope for.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Some of my streamers saying that they would watch it, but yeah, maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah. So yeah, where can people check you out?
Oh, yeah, I make videos on Zenless on Zero over on average.gamer at youtube.com. And if you want to check me out, then that's where I am. I mainly just talk about thoughts on the game and stuff. Occasionally I'll do like character guides or like pre-release stuff. If we get character info early, Hoyoverse sometimes let me into their beta program. Sometimes they just don't talk to me at all. You know how that be.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, maybe I'll be in for 1.6, but it doesn't look like I'll be in for 1.5. I'm not going to get distracted by that.
But 1.5, don't I mean, I'll just tell you, the videos go up next week. It already happened.
Yeah, it's done. So,
It's done.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I also stream on Twitch, which I couldn't get Average Luck Gamer. Someone locked it in.
Ooh.
But I am Avluck Gamer on Twitch, which is fine. And yeah, Twitch is quite new for me as a platform, but I'm enjoying it. It's been nothing but great, and the Twitch community's been very kind to me. So I've been having a great time. I might push for partner, which means yeah, I'm guessing you are already.
Yes, I've been partnered.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 'cause, yeah, your viewership is normally really good. So yeah, but I might go for that at some point, which means that at some point in the future I might do Twitch only streams just to make sure I can get the numbers for partner. But for now, I'm going to stream on both YouTube and Twitch, and that's the way it'll be for the foreseeable future.
When you hit the numbers, just be aware they reject everyone the first time because they want you to consistently hit the numbers.
Oh, do they? Oh, that's
so just because you meet the requirements doesn't mean they will give you partner. You'll have to hold them for like 2 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'll also like I'll normally chat through my ideas about characters and stuff, and you know, on stream, and then that'll help to inform what I make videos about and stuff. So it's a really fun, chill time, and you can come hang out in my Discord if you're interested. But I just got a bunch of followers. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you, J-Stone community.
Thank you for hanging out with me. You can follow me at Twitch.
I was about to ask. No, let me ask.
Okay.
Because that's the polite thing to do. So, J-Stone, where could anyone who's watching who hasn't heard of you or enjoyed this conversation, where could they check out your stuff?
You see, you can check out my content at youtube.com/thejstern25. I couldn't get jstern25 on YouTube. But I did just release, or the username is jstern25, but the channel URL is the... I did just release my Evelyn video, so if you guys want to check that out, it is hot off the press. You can also follow me on twitch.tv/jstern25. But yes, if you want to know my thoughts about Evelyn, the video is up now.
Well, I can only see the Ambi video. Where's the Evelyn one?
I literally just posted it. You're gonna have to refresh the page.
Literally just
posted it.
Literally 50 seconds ago. Okay,
yes.
Well, when we hang up, actually, I probably can't watch that on stream, can
I? Technically,
no.
And
technically, I'm not saying it.
Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Yes, me in suit. Yes, I put on a suit.
You're in a suit? Oh shit! Who's this handsome motherfucker?
So yeah, check out that video. And then check out all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Do you mind sharing the link? Oh, I just opened you up on Twitch as well to show my community. But do you mind sharing the link for the Zenless optimizer? And
yes.
I will put it in my Discord, and I'll also ping it in both my YouTube and Twitch chat, because I think that's a really cool tool for people.
This is the Zenless optimizer.
People who actually want to.
If you want help using it, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to walk you through it. Because it is a bit complicated.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you very much, bro.
Yep, take care.
But
it's been a really nice talking to you. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your account review.
Thank you very much. And you enjoy. What are you doing for the rest of your stream?
I just put my Evelyn video up.
Oh. You're done.
I'm gonna do some promotion for it, but I do want people to watch the video.
Okay, man.
I do.
Oh, that makes sense. Cool.
All right.
Perfect timing.
Take care.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, Jason. See you later. Bye. Oh, wow.
I guess should I restart the stream? Because we just did the conversation. Should we stay live? Should I go eat dinner? What should we do? Uh-oh. I didn't think this through very well. I didn't think this... I'm gonna restart the stream. So that's the way the VOD is separate on YouTube for people who just want to hear my conversation with him. So let me do that. Actually, you know what? I'll end on YouTube and stay live on Twitch. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. We are ended on YouTube. We are now live on Twitch.